Now we will work out illustration number 10, page number 20.13. Mr. Weiss keeps his books on single entry system. Following information is given. So we have opening values and closing values. So it is understood that we will have to do opening statement of FS and closing statement of FS. Then we have so many adjustments in the question. We will go through that, which should be considered only in closing statement of FS. So the first adjustment, Mr. Weiss transferred rupees 375 every month during the first half of the year. That means for 6 months he has transferred 375. Then for the rest 6 months he transferred 300 from the business to his personal bank account by way of drawings. So that is directly given, it is the amount of drawings. So you have to add and take these two. In addition, he withdrew 7,500 for his daughter's marriage. So again that is drawings, and 3,000 for domestic purpose. Both are personal purpose. So you have to consider all these amounts while you compute drawings amount. In September 2018, during the period, he had received a lottery prize of 6,000 which he invested in the business. That means that is the additional capital introduced. He sold his personal car for rupees 7,000 and proceeds were utilized for business. Again that is additional capital. The owner is selling his own car and he introduced that amount into the business. So that is again additional capital. Then he wants his furniture to be depreciated at 10% and a provision for doubtful debts to be created at 5%. So we have depreciation and provision for doubtful debts to be considered in the closing statement of FS. Then he had not paid 2 months salary to his peon at the rate of 225 per month. So that is per month figure, and he means the owner has not paid 2 months salary. So we have outstanding salary. So there is a new liability to be written in the closing statement of FS, and all these will be considered in the closing statement of FS. Then 2 months rent outstanding amounting to rupees 300. 2 months rent outstanding amount is directly given rupees 300. You don't have to multiply it again by 2. Understood? Because that is 2 months rent. Then commission earned but not received by him was rupees 3,600. So earned but not received, that is called commission receivable. So the amount is 3,600. Then prepare statement of P&L for the year ended 31st March 2019. So we will do statement of P&L, but before that we have to do opening and closing statement of FS. So you give the heading, this is illustration 10. Statement of FS as at 1st April 2018. Okay. Always draw the format and give column headings. Balance at bank. Okay, balance at bank, usually the bank balance will be an asset, but in this question if you look into the opening value, balance at bank within brackets, they have given credit balance. That means it is the overdraft balance, because we know that bank is usually having a debit balance, isn't it? I'm not talking about the bank passbook. Okay, don't get confused between bank balance and bank passbook and all. That is regarding the chapter BRS. That is over. Bank balance and cash balance normally will be having a debit balance because both these are assets. But in this question, it is given bank balance credit. That means it is the overdraft balance. So that you have to start on the liability side. So write balance at bank. This is the overdraft balance or this is the credit balance. Credit means overdraft. Normally bank will be having a debit balance. That means it is an asset. But here it is a liability. Then stock in trade we have on the asset side. $22,500. Sundry debtors 45,000. Furniture 7,500. Investments 7,500. Then we have furniture and investments 7,500 each. Then next one is cash in hand 150. Next one, sundry creditors 37,500, which should come on the liability side. Then bills payable 1,500. Loan from Mr. Faithful. Okay, loan from Mr. Faithful, if you see the opening value, it is nil. So, you don't have to take that. We have only in the closing statement of affairs. Okay. So, the statement of affairs is over now. We can just balance it. We will get the value of opening capital. That is 40,500. Next, we will do closing statement. So, this time we have to consider all the adjustments. The first one is balance at bank, but in the closing statement of affairs, balance at bank, nothing is mentioned. That means it is debit balance, which is an asset here, whereas in the opening statement of affairs, since it was mentioned as credit, you took it as liability. Here it is an asset, 8,400. Then stock in trade 30,000. Then we have sundry debtors. 22,800. Sundry debtors, do we have a provision there? Yes. See, we had a provision there in that paragraph for provision for doubtful debts to be created at the rate of 5%. So that you have to consider here. So 22,800 should come in the inner column, and then we'll write less provision for doubtful debts. That is 5% on debtors. So you have to compute 5% on debtors, that is 2000. Sundry debtors figure, that is 42,800, not 22,800, just correct that figure, 42,800. On that 42,800 you compute 5%, so you will get an amount like 2140. Just compute and see whether you are getting the same. So 2,140 we will deduct as provision, and we will write the balance 40,660. So if you look into your illustration solution, they haven't deducted provision here, whereas they have done this deduction in statement of P and L. Understood? So in effect both will give the same answer, but you do like this, because normally we are deducting provision from debtors. Then there is a depreciation on furniture, that also we will do in closing statement of FS, but in your textbook they have done in statement of P and L. Okay, but I will be doing like this. Normally what we are doing is deduct it from your debtors, deduct it from your concerned fixed asset if it is depreciation. Okay, so you do it in the same way. Then we have, after debtors we have furniture for rupees 7,500, and there we have a depreciation that you must remember. So we will write furniture 7,500 less depreciation. Depreciation here is 10% on furniture, so that is 750. 10% on 7,500. That's a calculation. The next one is investments, that is 7,500, the same. Then we have cash in hand for rupees 600, the closing figure. Then sundry creditors 4,500. Bills payable 750. Loan from Mr. Faithful 4,500. Then he had not paid 2 months salary to his peon. We had read such an adjustment in that paragraph. That means it is your liability which is to be written as outstanding. So once you finish the items given in that box, I mean the opening and closing values got over now. Now we will read the adjustments. Adjustments, first one was drawings that we already discussed. Then we have additional capital, that lottery amount, and sale of personal car. So that too will constitute your additional capital. Then we have depreciation that we considered, provision also we considered. Then this 2 months salary, that is 225 per month, and 2 months salary is outstanding. So the calculation will be 225 into 2. Okay. So the amount is 450. Then we have outstanding rent also with that, but outstanding rent 2 months rent directly given 300. Don't multiply 300 with 2. Understood? So read each and every word of your question very carefully. It's outstanding rent 300 directly given. Then the last sentence, commission earned but not received by him. That means it is accrued commission or commission receivable, and receivable items are assets of the firm. So you write it on your asset side, accrued commission. I hope you remember accrued commission. Commission earned but not received, that is receivable amount, and it is an asset. Accrued commission, the amount is 3600. Understood? So always you have to go through adjustments once you finish the items given in that box. In that box means that opening and closing values you have to write first, then you go through the adjustments if you are doing closing statement of FS. Okay, so with that your balance sheet, the closing statement of FS is getting over. Now we can find the balancing figure. Closing capital we will get like 51,010. That's not the answer in your textbook because we have deducted depreciation and provision in this account, in the statement of FS, whereas they have done these two in statement of P&L. Final answer will be same, but the balancing figure of this statement of FS will be different. Okay, it is 51,010 the closing capital. That's the balancing figure. Total is 97,510. Statement of P&L for the year ended 31st March 2019. Particulars in one amount column. So closing capital, the amount is 51,010. Add drawings. Okay, here drawings we have to add 375 every month during the first half of the year. That means it will be, I'll do the calculation here itself, 375 into 6. First half of the year means for 6 months. Then 300 for the next 6 months. So that will be 300 into 6. 1,800, and this is 2,250. Then we have like 7,500 he has withdrawn for his daughter's marriage. That is also drawings. Then 3,000 is also drawings. So altogether it is 14,550 your drawings amount which is to be added. Then less additional capital, that also you have to consider two amounts there. One is lottery prize amount 6,000 and then the sale value amount 7,000. So 13,000 will be the additional capital which is to be deducted. So write within brackets. Okay. Finally we will deduct opening capital, and the opening capital figure is 40,500. That is also less item, so write within brackets. Finally the answer you will get same like your textbook. Final answer will be 12,060. Okay, but the closing capital figure is different. So you just have to do like this, adjustments you take in closing statement of FS. That is easy for you because every question we are doing like that. All adjustments we are considering in closing statement of FS, then we will compute closing capital and then we will move on to statement of P&L. So every question you do it in the same way. Okay. With this question, this chapter is over. So actually we have one more method, okay, other than statement of affairs method. We have written the heading there in the beginning of the chapter. Second method is conversion method, but they have deleted this from the syllabus, this year's syllabus. So you don't have to learn that conversion method, okay. Only first method, that is statement of affairs method, you need to learn. So with this we are winding up the chapter.